You were here.
It's very low of the negotiation. This is.
What's up everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am coming at you from Peru. I've actually been here for a week and I'm just sitting down to film this intro because I have barely picked up this camera this week. As I mentioned in my last vlog that these vlogs will not be like very what you should do while you're in Peru type vibe. They're just going to be more centered towards me and like my real experience. So my real experience is that it has been cold and wintry here, which I did know coming into it actually. I did know that it was going to be cold here. I didn't think it would be as gray as it's been this last week, but I've honestly just been enjoying my week here in this Airbnb. I did film an actual Airbnb tour, so that will be in this video per your request in my last vlog. Seeing that you guys want a more thorough tour of the Airbnbs, and this one's actually bigger and worth a legitimate tour. It is so pretty. It is in the neighborhood of San Isidro, which is I guess a more businessy side of Lima. I obviously came to this side of town just for this Airbnb. My mess is everywhere. I should have done this, but I got in at like 1 a.m. last night, so I didn't have time to do a tour and all of that. So this is the living room area. Super cushy. It's pretty small, but it's definitely the perfect size for a week. Here's the view. The ocean right there. I don't know if you guys can tell. These beautiful mountains back there. I have no idea what mountains those are, but it's very, very foggy because it's technically their winter. This is the view of the apartment on this side. It is super, super chic. I love how they included just little small touches, giving me ideas for my next apartment. This is where I plan to have breakfast every morning. I still need to go to the regular grocery store and get some breakfast so I don't have to go out every morning. You guys won't guess how much this place costs for 1 week. It is the off season, so probably why it's cheaper. This is a major, major bonus. This is the bathroom. She's gorgeous. I took the most incredible shower in this last night. Felt amazing. In-depth view at the kitchen. We have a nice little sink here. Lots of cupboard space. You guys, I had to heat up a bowl of hot water yesterday just because it was freezing and I wanted to lay with the bowl on my chest to warm me up. I could not for the life of me figure out what any of that said. I was like, oh, we're really into it now, honey, because everything's in Spanish and I haven't got a clue what anything says. This is a really cool little like coffee maker. It's an espresso machine. I need to go get some creamer to make a good coffee every morning. I love Airbnbs that give everything you might need. They included, I don't know if you guys care about these things, but I had the most amazing sleep last night. Those sheets are phenomenal. The bed is so comfortable. The pillows are just right. It was so nice to sleep. I slept till 11 a.m. this morning, which is super, super late for me. They both have sound bars. There's also a projector screen up here. Even though there's no projector, I was looking around to try and find the projector, but there's a massive screen. Imagine being in bed and watching this massive projector screen. So unfortunately, they don't have one here, but I love the idea, but I can't. There's no projector, as you can see. Nice big mirror here, and then they have a huge closet here. I did hang up a few things. I like to unpack up quite a bit when I go anywhere, so this is why I love having my packing cubes, because you just throw the packing cube in the drawers, and then you can live out of the packing cube, and then when it's time to go, you just zip up your packing cube and throw it back in the suitcase. And then this leads to the bathroom again. I've got my hair in a little twisty because I got a keratin treatment, so I'm just testing it out to see how it looks. Then you're back at the front door. That is a thorough review of the super chic Airbnb, and I'll be sure to leave it linked down below for you guys. I will make sure that I include some proper Airbnb tours because I just booked my 5th Airbnb this last night actually. So this is the coldest climate I think I'm gonna be in. The thing about traveling solo, just embarking on this experience, I've only traveled solo one other time, and I usually only travel to about 2 different countries maybe per year. Once or twice a year I would like do a trip or so, an international trip at that. So I'm not extremely traveled, but I'm definitely traveled enough to know that I want to do this full time. My point is that I'm learning as I go, honestly, you guys. Like, I'm learning my preferences. I've learned that I don't really love the cold weather. I knew that already, obviously. I grew up in Michigan, but I haven't been living in cold weather in over 10 years. Well, 5 years because New York, of course. But I've learned that solo traveling and discovering new countries, I don't want to do it while it's cold. Even though it hasn't been freezing, it's been like 60 to 55 at night, but it's been cold enough. And this Airbnb has no air or heat. Cuddle up in lots of blankets at night to keep warm. It's actually been freezing in this Airbnb. So that's half the reason I haven't wanted to go and do anything, because I'm already cold inside. But so I'm learning that 5 days is not enough in each country. I need to extend to at least a week, if not 7 to 10 days in each place, especially if I plan to do this long term. The reason I booked so many places for like 5 or 6 days back to back is because I just want to keep up the momentum for you guys. But I've been exhausted. That was the whole point of this whole spiel, is that I've been so tired. Didn't want to go out and like discover things as much in Peru. This Airbnb is so nice and cozy and comfy. As you can probably tell from behind me, all I've wanted to do is just like sit here and veg out, watch my Netflix shows. They have 2 huge, really nice televisions in both the rooms with like sound bars. And I know that's not a good reason. My point is that I'm learning that I need 4 days in each country so that I can factor in rest days and work days. I didn't do that. You learn as you go. You don't really know what your vibe is. And I knew that wasn't going to be quite sure how much time I wanted to spend in each country until I went and I did it and I got the vibes and I can kind of see like what I like. I think I want to be able to immerse myself in the culture a bit more in different places, so I want to spend a little bit more time in each place. My next destination, I'm only there for 5 days again, and then the next one after that is transatlantic. I'm spreading it out a little bit more, and then I also, because of where I'm ending up, I don't want to give too much away because I just I want to unveil it to you guys as I go. But where I end up mid-October, I might actually head back to the States for a little visit because of just it's in alignment. I might as well take a trip home, see Zoe, rest, take a couple weeks to rest, make some money, see the dog, and then do another venture out. And then I'm thinking about coming back to South America in November, December. I haven't decided exactly, but that's what I'm thinking. I'm just kind of thinking out loud. Probably won't even include this in the video, honestly. I definitely feel a little bit guilty for not being adventurous in Peru. Peru is definitely like, you need to have a couple days in Lima and then you have to go to Cusco for a couple nights. It's a separate flight, and then you hike from Cusco to Machu Picchu, if I'm not mistaken. For whatever reason, I just did not want to do that. It just didn't sound fun to me. I don't know why. It does sound fun if I'm going to just Peru for like a week on vacation. It does sound really fun, like to do those things. You force yourself out of your comfort zone. You make yourself like do a bunch of stuff you've never done before, and you maximize obviously because you are not here for very long. So you fill your days up with all these adventure things. But I personally am traveling on and off, I guess, for the next year, but really more on than anything. So I can't really max out each destination in that way. You know what I mean? Otherwise, when will I sleep? When will I work? And I think for me this past week, I finally just, like, my nervous system finally took a breath and relaxed after at least a month, because if you consider like, apartment hunting, then I finally decided, nope, I'm gonna sell everything and leave the country. So I had probably 12 days to do all of that. Then I had to get Zoe settled. Then I went to Amber's for a week, and I thought that that would be my rest week, but it ended up being busier than ever because Amber threw a little going away party. Then I went to dinner with her and her aunt, and then we went to the beach, did a whole beach day thing, and every day just felt like it was jam-packed with something. I also worked a ton that week because I wanted to make as much money as possible before I left. So I ended up being super busy that week, and then I flew straight to Mexico City, and my flight left at 7 a.m. So I got up at 3 a.m. and like I've just been going, you know what I mean? So I haven't had a moment to really just breathe and recoup since moving out of LA. So I think that this week, the vibes, like even looking outside right now, it's like very gray and cloudy and cold, and there's not a lot of people. I'm staying in San Isidro. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's definitely less touristy and more quiet over here. So the vibes were just giving rest. That was a big explanation and a big rambling of why I've been resting here in Peru. That is me trying to justify why you aren't going to see a lot of adventures happening in Peru. I did, however, go to a cooking class, which I'll show you guys. Went to a really fun cooking class. I'll make sure I leave it linked down below. We cooked 5 different dishes, and it was 4 hours long. A cooking class in Miraflores, and it was so much fun. We first went to the market to grab all the ingredients we needed. I got to see the fresh markets. This was so cool and interesting. I love a good market. Then we went and cooked, and I got to learn about all of the potatoes. Did you know Peru has 4,000 potatoes? Mayo amarilla. We cooked so many things. We made sauces from scratch. We made some of the traditional meals like this one, mashed potato and quinoa with carrots. I can't remember what it's called, but I'll put it on screen. It was delicious. And then we made the traditional dinner with rice, and I think this is like beef or chicken with vegetables. It was so delicious. And I'll definitely make sure I leave this excursion down below for you guys to check out. Really, really fun. I just love the excursions because they get you around other people. They get you around other solo travelers usually, and they get me to film my social bar, which I love, but I also learn how to cook new meals and then eat delicious food at the end. I had a couple glasses of red wine. I told you there'd be a lot of chatting in the vlogs to make them longer, but mostly just because I have a lot to say. I have a lot to say about this experience. One thing I know for sure is that I don't want to go places that are cloudy and dark. But I do love Peru. I do love it, and I'm gonna come back. I want to do more of an adventure dedicated week to Peru where I actually go to Machu Picchu and stuff, but I'm a lazy traveler, which you guys will soon find out through these vlogs. Homegirl likes to just go to different cities and lay around, eat a lot of food, see some arts, see a little bit of culture, take some photos. That's my vacation. But I'm really not vacationing either. That's the thing. These are vacations, but this is my way of life, and I need to find a rhythm that works where I can rest, get normal sleep, and feel like I have a routine-ish. I've not even been working out. Like I gotta figure out where I'm gonna work out. But it's also not like I can maximize all of this, because then what about my next destination, and then the one after that, and then the one after that? So my goal going forward is to extend my destinations to at least 10 days per country, if not 2 weeks. I want to do a 30-day stay somewhere. I just haven't decided where because I'm too scared to like commit to a full month somewhere. What if I hate it? So maybe I'll go to Paris for a month or something. I don't know. I haven't decided. That's like the freedom and the luxury of doing this, is like I literally can go wherever the hell I want. But anyways, my point is that you're gonna find out that I'm a lazy traveler. I'm just trying to figure out what works for me, and a lot of things I've done here in Peru is just go to coffee shops, walk around parks, go to little cafes and museums and bop around and just like very, very, very chill. That's why I love going to cities, because I can just find new restaurants, new cafes, people watch. Like that's the kind of traveler I am. Super chill, laid back, maybe 1 or 2 excursions, and then the rest is like restaurants and like vibing. Okay, I went and got a bunch of snacks, literally junk. I was actually on the hunt for a grocery store, but it's cold out there. I don't know. I'm just like, I'm gonna talk to you guys about this later in the vlog. The amount of stairs I get is just, it's a lot to take on at once. It's a lot of energy coming my way, and it makes me feel really like it's nerve-wracking, and sometimes I feel a little bit embarrassed, like looking at my phone, like looking, you know what I'm saying, like trying to figure out what direction I'm going in. I just like, if I get too lost and too turned around, I'm like, just forget it. Mainly because people are like staring at me. I could not find a grocery store to save my life. That's what I'm trying to get at. I went to a cafe and got some breakfast. I had this lovely French toast. It was so delicious, actually. I also had a delicious cappuccino. I'm like really into cappuccinos lately. I feel like it's just a latte. Everywhere I've gone has oat milk, so that's a great sign. And what else? Then I walked over to the beach because I wanted to get a little video and just walk off my little French toast that I had. And then it was huge. I didn't eat it all. I brought half of it home, actually. But I don't have any syrup, so whatever. I'm just gonna eat it. That's one thing traveling will do, is humble you. You just don't get the accommodations that you get in America. And you don't want to be that annoying tourist asking for things that they don't normally do, you know? So you just kind of take things how they come. I'm being humbled for sure, but it doesn't feel bad. Like I'm just embracing it. Like not always getting ice with my drinks, or just little tiny things like that that hard to get used to, but you definitely have to just take things as they come. Anyways, I went to this 7-Eleven place. That's what I'm calling it, but it really wasn't 7-Eleven. I don't know what it was called, but I just found some snacks. I literally got a bunch of junk. I picked up whatever I could find just to like stock the fridge a little bit, because in Mexico City I didn't have any snacks or anything good, and I wanted just little bites throughout the day, and I had nothing. So I was actually looking for a grocery store originally, but like I said, I couldn't find it, so this is what I am stuck with. I got this little mini pizza. Pringles, you know, we know what a Pringles is. They have Coke Zero everywhere. Coke Zero is more popular in South America than it is in America, because everywhere has this. I haven't seen a Diet Coke anywhere. I've just seen Coke Zero and regular. Even on the plane, it's the opposite in America. Like I can never find Coke Zero when I'm out. It's always Diet Coke and regular Coke, so I'm loving it. It's like a good sign for me. I also got some water off, and then I got some, you guys, I got some mac and cheese, Jappy Macs. Their version of a Kraft mac and cheese. And then I also got these Cheetos a queso picante. Hopefully this is like a hot Cheeto puff. That's like what I was hoping for. Let's see. Interesting. Fascinating. It is. It's like a little hot Cheeto puff, but it looks more cheesy than hot Cheeto-y. Yeah, tastes exactly how you would imagine it to taste. I wish there was more hot Cheeto powder on it. I wouldn't be mad at that. Okay. I got some ramen. And then I got some chicken burrito. I have no idea what it is. I think it's a chicken burrito, I think. And then I got some candy. This is tubos acidos. These taste like just a delicious candy. And then I got this as well. Miguel Extreme Acido Dolce. That's my grocery haul, my junk food grocery haul. I wouldn't normally, if I had gone to the real grocery store, I would not have gotten that junk, but I'm gonna enjoy it today, okay? What should I eat? Maybe this chicken burrito and some Pringles. For now, I'm taking a nap. Goodbye. This week hasn't been as easy as the first week, of course, because it's something new and my nervous system is being activated in new ways. This is kind of the fun of it for me. Some people love roller coasters. This is my roller coaster. This is my version of a roller coaster. Putting myself in really unfamiliar environments, having to figure out the language and translate, and there's just a lot of little things. Figure out in restaurants, figure out how to get around. What are the easiest ways to Uber? Do they even have Uber? How to communicate with people. It's really difficult and much more involved and hard on your nervous system, and I don't give myself enough credit for those type of things, especially for someone like me who is very sensitive, and I tend to run a bit anxious anyway. I flew to Lima, Peru, super late. I think we landed at 9:30, 9:45, but I didn't leave the airport until like 11:45, midnight almost, because we had to take a shuttle, and then immigration line was an hour and a half long. Woo, that immigration line was so long. So I just was feeling a bit anxious my first night. I got here, checked into this Airbnb, and literally cried. I almost popped on the camera, but I literally was my mood was like so bad that I couldn't even be bothered with the camera. I just was in such a bad mood. But I wasn't like unhappy to be here at all. I wasn't like, I want to go home. I didn't feel like that. I just felt like, I don't think I could put my words, like a way of describing how I felt in the moment. Just kind of lonely, I guess. But not in the sense of like, okay, I'm ready to go back to America lonely. You know, I just felt lonely in that moment because it was super late, 1 a.m. in Peru, in an unfamiliar place. My nervous system was just activated. That's literally the only way to describe it. Like, there are no words that make it make sense. That's just in my body. I felt anxious and activated, and it took me a minute, maybe like 2 hours, honestly. Unpack, turn the lights on, get cozy. Something that really helps me when I'm in a new environment and I'm feeling like that is to like do all the things that I would do back home. So put on an episode of Real Housewives, turn a nice little fan on, if they have candles around or good lighting, whatever they have that I would do at home. Maybe make tea if they have it. Some Airbnbs will give you coffee and tea. The lighting really helps a lot. Like, for some reason, like nice warm lighting that just feels really cozy. Maybe an hour and a half later, I felt so good and comfortable, and I took a nice hot shower and got into the most comfy bed. I started looking up things to do the next day, and I started to feel a lot better. Yeah, that's my little lesson for myself. Just like, know that the first night, and I said this in my last vlog, that typically when I travel somewhere, I tend to get really anxious on the first day, and that didn't happen to me in Mexico City. I guess it just depends on the circumstances if I'm gonna feel like that or not, because I definitely felt like that in Peru, and I felt it coming on, and I was like, stop, no, don't cry, please don't feel like this, because I know that it's not real, and you're gonna feel so much better in the morning. Okay, another thing I need to talk to you guys about, I'm gonna talk to you in another vlog, because I don't feel like yapping anymore, but all of the staring, you guys, the staring, I mean, I don't even know, like, I know it's expected. People stare at me even in America, honestly, but this is on another level. Like, it's not even an angry stare, it's a curiosity stare. Some of them are angry stares though. Some of them are like most of the stares I get, and this is in Mexico City and here and like everywhere I'm gonna go, I just know it's only gonna get worse. It's mostly a curiosity stare, and like in America, when someone's staring at you and you look at them, they will stop staring at you. It's like a societal thing that we do. If somebody looks at you and like gives you that half smile, like, you stop staring at them. They don't necessarily do that in other countries. Like, I noticed in Turkey especially, just because you're staring back at them doesn't make them stop staring at you. That's a whole other separate conversation I have to have with you guys, because I'm navigating that whole thing of first being solo, being a woman, and then having extra attention on you that you don't want. I'm trying to not bring extra attention to myself while being alone in random countries, you know what I mean? As soon as I step outside, it's just like the people in the cars are staring. Really self-conscious now of even just what I'm wearing. Like, I don't want any skin showing. I mean, going out in like turtlenecks, mainly because it's cold, but also I don't want any lady bits. You know what I'm saying? Like, just sexual attention. That's just like the last thing I'm trying to do, is bring attention to myself whilst being alone, obviously. You guys get that, right? Obviously. But it doesn't help at all when people are staring so hard, and I try not to let it make me feel uncomfortable and just embrace it, but after a while, like, you can't help it. It just makes you feel like a pariah of some sort. I hate when I'm walking down the street with directions and I've gone the wrong way. I have to turn around. I'll literally just walk around the entire block before I turn around because I'm embarrassed. It's just been happening a lot. I notice. It's not like it's a first, I'm just usually with other people. You know, when you're alone and people are staring at you, you feel like a pariah, you feel awkward, and what are you looking at? Do I have something on my face? Like, that's how you feel. Anyways, it's not always like that every single place I go 24/7, but it happens a lot. It's just been happening a lot, I notice. So it's something I'm having to get used to. Anyways, that's it for me for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.